I haven't done one of these in a while, but I've been thinking a bunch about classic science fiction lately, so here's another set of favorite sci-fi books from each year of my life. After looking at a bunch of books from 1985 in the last video, I'm focusing this time on 1986 to 1989. We'll start with 1986's Speaker for the Dead by Orson Scott Card. This is the sequel to Ender's Game, one of the books I talked about from '85. It's set 3,000 years after the events of Ender's Game, but only a few decades have passed for Ender because of relativistic space travel. Ender has become a speaker for the dead. He travels across space to try and heal the rifts between species and address prejudices in an effort to deal with his own guilt. The story unfolds on the planet of Lusitania, where Ender has been called to uncover the truth about a series of deaths of both humans and the indigenous population. This is a far more philosophical book than Ender's Game, with lots to say about empathy, cultural respect, and the complexities of relating to the other. My book for 1987 is The Forge of God by Greg Bear. This is a first contact story where the aliens come with bad intentions from the very beginning, so it turns towards the apocalyptic very quickly. This book tracks along with several characters as they first attempt to stop the aliens from destroying the world, and then as they come to grips with the inevitability of the end. In the midst of the growing destruction of Earth, this book actually becomes pretty emotional. So if you want your sci-fi to be action-packed, this might not be the book for you. But if you appreciate hard science fiction with a large dose of humanity, check out Forge of God. Next is The Last Ship by William Brinkley. This is a post-apocalyptic novel that follows the journey of a U.S. Navy ship in the aftermath of a nuclear exchange with the Soviet Union. Remember, this is 1988. The exchange leaves them without orders and has effectively destroyed most of civilization. The book follows the struggles of the crew as they look for a place where they can live as they deal with radiation and a Russian sub along the way. This one's a little bit dated, but it's absolutely worth the read. Finally, from 1989 is Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This incredible book follows the stories of 7 travelers on a final pilgrimage to the time tombs on the planet of Hyperion, which is about to be invaded. As the pilgrims travel, they tell each other their story of how they came to be on the journey. It's like the Canterbury Tales if Chaucer had been writing about space travel and intergalactic politics. Each story is told in the context of the journey, so the book runs along parallel tracks between the backstories of the pilgrims and their journey on Hyperion. This book isn't easy to explain, but it is fantastic. It won the Hugo and Locus Awards and spawned several sequels. So there you go. My favorite science fiction novels from the end of my teen years, 1986 to 1989. Have you read any of these? Are there others from this time period that you'd recommend? Let's talk about it.